Alright, well then. Raining cats and dogs?
Yeah.
Let's rock.
You didn't read the thing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. The Nocturnal Detective Agency receives a request to investigate an unusual drowning. Was it suicide or murder? Will Master Detective Halara be able to solve this odd and onerous case? Oh, that's it.
Is it? Let's roll it.
Nope.
So this is 2 cases now where it's either suicide or murder.
Yeah. Hopefully that changes for Viviette and Yako.
Yeah. Sorry, my
I was like, don't fall. Oh. Is this post? Oh no, there he is.
The milk I put in the fridge went. I was saving it for my coffee.
Beats me.
That's my seat, you know.
How much?
Huh?
How much do you want for it? I'll pay your asking price.
Halara offering to buy something for a change.
Kidding. Fine. Just keep sitting there.
I will.
Huh? Someone's coming.
I will.
I wasn't expecting guests today.
I don't like how his teeth open so wide because it makes me think the cigarette stuck to his tongue.
Oh.
That's a mom.
that is a mother.
Anime mom if I ever saw one.
Mm-hmm.
Right this way. It's
You're like a
bit cramped in
Pokemon
here.
protagonist mother or something.
Yeah.
Are you the chief of the Nocturnal Detective Agency?
Bruh.
My name is Tetra. Pleased to meet you.
Like that's there's a Zelda joke in here somewhere.
Or a milk joke.
I'm the chief. That's just one of our detectives.
Oh, excuse me. Your detective was sitting at the biggest desk here, so
We get the only desk here.
that
My seat gets stolen the moment I leave it open.
I mean, it looks cushy and comfy.
Yeah. Well, I prefer the sofa.
Let's sit down.
I was told you investigate murders.
He also
Murder
doesn't have a
case.
sprite.
It's possible for us to handle.
You think
it,
the cat
but
was meant to be
what we can or
In the
can't do
actual
in the main game?
depends on whether or
Maybe.
not
So
the
that's why she had
peacekeepers have
sprites.
already gone through it.
I see. My father passed away in a rather bizarre manner. The peacekeepers declared
Maybe
it was
these
an
were
accidental
part of
death.
the main story, and then they cut them out.
That's what I was
I just
thinking.
can't
That's
Yeah.
why
believe
maybe
it
that's
was an
why
accident.
Nine or
Peacekeepers usually try
whatever
to
her name
declare
was
any
has
unnatural
sprite work.
deaths
Maybe
as
she was just
accidents.
Finnish.
Why do you
But there
suspect
wasn't
that it
enough
wasn't one?
time in the game to
My
really
father
work it all
kept
in.
tropical
Yeah.
fish as a hobby. One morning, he was found dead.
Because I do
Well,
like
his
your
head stuck
idea
in
that
a
if
fish
they
tank.
don't happen
Do
before
you really
Yuma
think that could be an
arrives,
accident?
that these events are
Drowned
ongoing
because
as
he's
he's
stuck
off
in a
doing other
fish
stuff.
tank?
So it's kind of
Can you
filling in the
describe
blanks of
situation?
what's everyone else doing while
The fish tank is set rather low, so you can view it from above. My father was in a kneeling position, with his head dunked into the water.
I'm sorry, he was drowned by somebody.
yeah.
That sure is bizarre. What did the peacekeepers have to say?
They say he was electrocuted, and passed out when he touched the temperature control switch with wet hands. And he fell into the water and drowned, unfortunately.
I don't think anyone would fall
you
exactly
sure
on
the
their
cause
knees
of
with the
death
head
was
in their head in the tank.
Yes, that appears to be the case without a doubt. A trustworthy doctor did the autopsy.
I feel like if he had fallen, like if he died and fell like that, he would have rolled off it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you die while your head is like that,
No,
you stay
the
there.
problem is the room where my father passed away. It was obvious that someone else had rummaged around.
What do you mean?
Well, the room has lots of tropical fish tanks lined up. But on the day my father died, all of them were
Okay,
shattered
Brand,
to
it's
pieces.
not the room where the...
Yeah, I was waiting
And
for it to be
of
the same
course, there
room.
was water
Yeah.
and dead fish all over the floor. Someone must have forced their way into the room to do something so terrible. I believe my father was murdered by whoever did that.
Jeez.
Mm.
Imagine going in and murdering all these fish for
This
just...
must be a murder. Please uncover the truth of my father's death.
What do you think, Alara?
Beats me. I wasn't paying attention.
Don't lie. There's no way you couldn't hear us.
You can assume I don't exist, unless pay is involved.
I can pay. My father left me an inheritance.
In that case, I heard everything.
Don't mind my detective. Our rates are
Alara's
always
just
reasonable
like-
here.
How many zeros?
Mhm.
Then you'll investigate this case on my behalf?
Huh? Yes, of course. As detectives sworn to protect this town, we can't leave any mysteries unsolved.
Yako's like, I don't want to have to run into the
I'm so happy
peacekeepers.
you worked up the courage to come here.
The Nocturnal Detective Agency is here to protect the peace of Kanai
You
Ward.
can see her breathing.
You
Like.
can always count on us. As for investigating this case,
yeah.
we'll check out
Not
the
just that her
crime scene
boob is
soon.
moving her back. It's
Promise.
No, yeah. Yeah, her whole torso is moving in and out.
Jeez.
That was rather reckless of you to promise.
Mhm.
It's not like I have a choice. I can't just abandon people in need.
Why? You
Yako
tried to do it in the
Furio,
main game.
Chief of the
Mhm.
Nocturnal Detective Agency. I gotta protect this town.
He just doesn't like dealing
Do
with
you even
murders.
have a single lead to solve this case?
What? Of course. I'm a detective after all. If I proceed with the investigation, I'm sure I can find some kind of clue. But I'll need your help, Alara.
That depends on the payment.
He said she'd pay.
Mhm.
You know I don't have a lot of money.
And you know that I don't work for cheap.
Then, how about a deal instead?
What deal?
If you solve this case, I'll let you keep a cat here.
Oh.
Oh, that's...
Yes, really.
He's gone.
Where are you going?
To the crime scene.
I'll be back in
Hold
5
on.
minutes.
Yeah.
Client
Go get me a
just
cat.
left. Why don't you wait until tomorrow?
Fine. I shall review the case's records until then.
Alara's fee is cheaper than I thought.
Bravo, Yako.
It's cheaper than you thought till that cat pees in your submarine and you smell it forever.
Oh.
Raining cats and dog? Singular?
Yeah? Yeah.
Might have a dog.
Thank you for coming. You really are willing to investigate the case.
Well, that's our duty at the Nocturnal Detective Agency. Your house is pretty big. Your father must have been well off.
Yes. My father owned a medical devices company. He contributed to Kanai Ward's medical advancements for years. I simply can't believe he met his end like this.
They just drew his
Fine.
legs.
Thank you. I am in your debt.
If all the tanks are
This is
broken.
my fiance.
Yeah, how did he drown?
We've been living
Yeah,
together for
Tetra and
about a year
Jaren.
now.
Jaren.
Nice to meet you.
What kind of name is Jaren?
I'd like to ask you more about the details later, but Can we take a look at the scene for now?
I'm gonna look that name up. That's not a real
Before that,
name.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a photo of your father?
Of course. Here's a picture from when he was still alive.
Thank you.
Her skirt
Laura,
definitely has
over
pockets.
here.
According to babycenter.com,
investigation
Jaren is
to
a
you.
girl's name.
It's
Okay.
bit too cramped for all of us to be wandering about. I'll keep speaking to them outside. Talk to me when you're done.
Understood.
Jaren Hogarth is a character from Marvel.
Okay.
Now, time to review the cards I've been dealt.
Okay, here comes the forte.
Hmm.
You definitely want to remember this.
Yeah, we know this. You told us in the last one.
Yeah. It did this with Desahiko's one. I'm like, please stop treating these like we're playing for the first time.
Mm.
I guess it has to in a way that, like, you could do any of these first.
Yeah.
If
You
you're...
don't necessarily start at the top.
Yeah. Okay.
So I assume the fish tanks were broken after he drowned.
I would hope so, but...
I see.
Oh, right. The equipment and food for the tropical fish are placed together. Seems like nothing has been used since the incident. There's some dust. There's equipment for keeping tropical fish. Wait, no. There we go.
Right.
There are some stains on the floor. It is likely due to the water spilled from the fish tanks. Other than that, nothing else seems suspicious.
I mean, that's just water on the floor, not stains.
It's a
Her hood
regular
jiggled.
sliding
Her hood
window with a
jiggles.
crescent
Mhm.
lock. There are
So-
no suspicious marks on it.
Oh, wow, actually has dialogue now. That's weird.
Huh. Was it just really low? The first one?
No.
No?
There's a small veranda outside. We're on the second floor, so any rain that falls off the eaves flows to the drain. An ordinary vent. There's some blue paint on the inner side of the frame. Looks like something rubbed against it. This may have something to do with the case.
Oh.
What is this?
Like a
There's
tank
a
was
stain here
removed
that
or
looks
something.
like a horizontal line. Upon close inspection, there appears to be a faint outline of
Oh,
the same
never
stain
mind.
along all four
Yeah, it goes right around the
walls.
room.
Did the room fill up with water?
Oh, possibly.
Right up to that level? That couldn't possibly happen unless that door is watertight.
Would explain how he drowned. When the water receded, he probably just landed there. Anything else?
Water came in the vent, maybe? One pump water into the vent?
Maybe is that what the blue mark is? Nope, door.
I mean, the door looks just right.
Yeah.
The line goes across it as well.
There is a sticky substance stuck to the doorframe. Perhaps tape residue?
Door was taped shut to keep the water in? That's weird. Just looks old and battered.
Like, the water from this many fish tanks wouldn't fill up this room.
No.
All of the fish tanks have been shattered. There's broken glass scattered on the inside, which means it's certain someone smashed
Oh,
it.
there's a dead fishy.
Oh.
I missed one.
Why would someone do this?
Investigated the things of note, but
Oh, okay, use the forte?
there's something we've missed.
The broken fish tank? No, they're all.
Those HUD physics. Pudding hoodily.
Hooting Huddly, maybe?
Hooting huddly, yeah. Alright. I don't think there's anything else. Saying
No.
end, but it was the
I guess the forte will pick it now.
That's about all I can investigate for now. I should go talk to our clients before I observe the
Use your
crime scene
forte.
at the time the body was discovered.
Go see what they say about how it was discovered, and then come back and check.
And see if it lines up, yeah.
The crime scene has been inspected, Chief.
Thanks.
There are a few things I'd like to confirm.
Yes, please ask me anything.
Can you give me the details of when you discovered the body?
It was, I think, around 6 in the morning. My father usually woke up early for breakfast, but when I went to get him, he wasn't in his room. So I looked around and noticed Sugar barking at this room.
Yeah, dog.
Sugar?
That's the name of
Sugar,
our
sugar, do.
Ah!
Oh, it's such a good bumper. Oh, look.
Aw.
Sugar sure is happy. She's rarely friendly with anyone.
Oh, look at you.
No. And look at Halara.
The doggo looks so real. Does not look like an anime doggo.
No. It's like a sprite
She
from like
barks
a
at me all the time.
Nintendogs or something
Yeah.
for The Sims. Barks at me all the time. Are you evil? Did you do this?
Yeah.
Dogs are a good judge of character.
Did you do it so that Tetra would get the inheritance and then...
Yeah, that's what it was.
There.
Shall we continue?
Halara will be here a while. You keep telling us what happened.
Oh, sorry. Sugar was barking in front of the room, so I opened the door to take a look. There I saw my father. His head was in the fish tank. He was already gone.
I heard her scream and ran over. But what I saw took my breath away. The fish tanks were all destroyed. The floor was covered with water. All the tropical fish Father loved were scattered across the floor, dead. Were they valuable?
I'm not sure. I don't know how much they were worth, but the fact is, my father cared for them a great deal.
If the fish were expensive, do you think someone tried to steal them?
Are you implying my father's murder was an afterthought?
Well, I'm just considering possibilities. If they were going to steal the fish, I doubt they'd smash the tanks.
I don't think anyone would go through
Right.
all this for a couple of koi.
Do you know the estimated
No.
time of death?
There wouldn't
for
have
the
been koi in
victim?
here anyway.
No, but you know what I mean.
I believe it was around 10 o'clock the night before.
When was the last time you saw him alive?
Right around 7 that night. I ate dinner with him. He went to his room after that.
Does anyone else live here?
It's just me and him now. The servant left after making dinner before 7.
Tell me, What were you doing around 10 that night?
After finishing dinner with my father, I did some cleaning and washed the dishes. Jaren came to the dining hall around 8 for dinner. And then we watched TV in the living room until around midnight.
Yes. I know for certain we were together between 8 and midnight.
That still leaves that gap
Did you ever get up
between
during that
7
time?
and 8.
Such as to go to the bathroom.
I don't think so.
Were there
Or
any
that's his
screams or
alibi because
sounds
he
of a
got someone
struggle
else
around
to do
10 at
the
night?
crime.
No, not at all.
He made sure he was sat with her for those 2 hours while it
leaves
was
me
happening.
wondering who entered that room, when they did, and why they smashed all the fish tanks.
Actually, the smashing
The
the
fish
fish
tanks
tanks
are
just
large
seems to
and
be
have
a...
thick glass.
That just seems to be a
You'd
fuck
think
you.
you'd hear them being smashed.
True. All I know for certain is that we didn't hear anything like that.
That's the other thing. Yeah, surely you'd hear the glass break. Unless it was done prior,
Do
and that's
you
why the door was
often
taped
come
up.
in and out of this room?
Or it was
Not at
done
all. Only my father
while the
used
room was
this
underwater.
What did the peacekeepers have to say
Near the glass smash
when they
was
saw the
once
state
allowed
of things in the
underwater.
room?
They said my father was stressed out. That he lost control and smashed all the tanks himself.
God,
he
the
actually
peacekeepers are
stressed out?
useless, aren't they?
Truth be told, my father was lamenting over a prized tropical fish he had accidentally killed that morning. I thought he could have done something extreme, given how much he regretted his mistake.
He killed one fish, he would not
did
kill the
look
rest of
rather
his fish.
depressed.
No.
If he regretted it that much, he would not
Still.
kill the rest of his fish.
My mild-mannered father would never do something like this.
Did you notice anything strange about your father during dinner?
He was sad about the fish, but he ate normally. I didn't notice anything in particular.
It's hard to think he was so distraught that he'd smash all the tanks on his own.
You're right.
And then electrocute
But
himself?
that's what the peacekeepers told us happened.
I'll take another look around. For now, I'd like to ask you to leave the room.
So you're gonna do that thing, yeah? I'm counting on you. Let's wait outside.
I
You
love
made that
the- I
sound
love-
really weird.
Yeah, no, I hate that anime thing of like that thing.
Yeah.
No, I know he can't outright.
You're gonna
say-
do it.
Yeah, like in Cross Wars when Kiriha shows up and male Bergemon's like, "Ah, we're gonna do that
The
thing now,
trunk card is
Kiriha,
still
are we?"
face down. Time to use my post-cognition to see how things were at the time the body was first discovered.
Yeah, a lot more fish on the floor. Yep.
So someone tidied up the fish keeping equipment.
I see.
At the time the body was found, many things were scattered around. Could this sort of mess be caused by just a broken fish tank?
There are dead tropical fish everywhere. The whole floor is completely drenched.
Angelfish? Or are
Nemos.
they some Nemos? Or butterfly fish over there? Are they butterfly fish? The angelfish, the black one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Polara had dialogue again before, like read out dialogue, so I don't know what went into deciding what scripts to give the actor
Yeah.
and what not. Ah,
It's not locked. Anyone could come and go through here. Perhaps this is how the culprit entered the place.
fish
There's a
outside.
dead tropical fish in the drain on the veranda.
Means the door was open so the water could drain out.
Yeah, which is why
I'm
door
right, the
was
room
taped
was
up.
yeah, the room was filled up with water.
Why would that be there? The paint stuck on the frame can be seen here.
Seems the stains on the walls were present when the body was found. I don't see any particular differences. No, the stains are darker than they are currently. Does that mean they were made around this time? So the room was filled. The tanks were smashed. But because the room was filled, the fish wouldn't have died immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, there still would have been some, like, because you take fish out of their natural water and...
Yeah, they're probably not, like, it depends on the water that was pumped into the room.
Yeah, they wouldn't, yeah, because, like, yeah,
They're probably,
we've all kept fish at one point, right?
they're probably like saltwater fish, are they?
Like, I used to have an aquarium as a kid with these kind of fish in it. And we used to have, like, little mini sharks, and we had have a divider in the tank to keep the sharks away from the other fish, because they would just go before them. Although the sharks would also eat the young of the other sharks.
Doesn't surprise me. We had 2 goldfish and one of them ate the other one.
Yeah. Oh, there.
He was dead after the first night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It depends. Like, they can get
My parents had to run out and get a third one.
Yeah, they can get awfully territorial, depending on, like, it, you know how they say, like, with budgies, you don't put, like, 2 boys or 2 girls together? Same thing.
I see.
We have a new house instead, because no pets. Maybe we can get some fish.
Oh, cleaning the tank every week, that was a chore.
It is.
All tanks seem to have been smashed inward. There's not much difference from the room in its present state. Even in post-cognition, traces of a sticky substance are on the frame. Some kind of tape stuck on?
The victim's body is kneeling against the edge of a fish tank, with his head inside. Like the other tanks, this one is smashed up too.
How is it smashed all the way?
He is soaking wet. It'd make sense if it was just his upper body, but for his whole body to be soaked is unusual.
Also, some of those smash marks are underneath him.
Well, those ones could be more him struggling to breathe, depending on it, you know, how, you know, him drowning.
Yeah, but I don't think his hands would have gone through the glass.
I just meant the ones that are more like the shatter, but they have the
But they haven't broken.
yeah, like that.
Yeah,
Just-
that one. Yeah, I don't think a human hand could go through a tank like that.
That's all the investigating I need to
Well,
do
not
for now.
not through, but you know.
That's what I mean. I don't think if you punched one of those, I don't think you'd smash it. Not if they were expensive, anyway.
Yeah, well, that's the. Did Polara say that?
Yeah.
I'm beginning to see the truth behind this case. That's all the investigating I need to do for now.
Okay. Yeah, it really is just end investigation.
We figured it out, though.
Really?
Are you done?
Oh,
The dog has something in her mouth.
pipe to feed into the
sugar.
water.
What's this?
That's Sugar's favorite toy. It's just a rubber hose tied up in a knot. Ever since she was a puppy, Sugar has loved playing tug of war with a rubber hose. So I still make toys out of hoses like this. But I don't think I made one for her recently. Where did she get it from?
Sharon.
Wow, that's interesting. Let me take a look.
Sugar bring gift.
Wait, don't touch it.
Oh.
What's wrong?
Put that in a plastic bag without touching it directly. I believe it's evidence.
Surely the dog
That's
slobber is.
evidence?
Oh, the blue on the fan.
Consider it
Yeah.
The
a
vent.
precaution.
Where did he get a Ziploc bag out of?
How's the
Magic?
investigation going?
Oh, look at his ankle.
Are the peacekeepers right?
Oh,
Did my
Oh!
father pass away due to an accident?
that's
Or
not how
was
ankles
it-
work.
The answer is clear. This was no accident, but a murder.
Huh?
It's Jaren.
Really?
What makes you think it's a murder?
My thinking.
Must be a murder because of
The walls.
the walls, yeah.
Oh, the marks. That's the room filled up clearly.
Hmm. Yeah, the floors don't mean anything. The tanks being smashed. I mean, I still don't believe that many fish tanks would amount to that amount of water rising.
No, there's been. That's why there's blue on the vent, because that pipe was fed through it.
Yeah.
That hose. So the walls having a completely level mark around the whole room means it was filled up like a swimming pool.
Yeah, the window was also unlocked, or the door at the very least was also unlocked.
Yeah, I think that was for after.
Hmm. Okay, to get back in, like.
To leave the water out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about it?
They're wet?
Wet?
No, it's not enough to disprove the theory that it was an accident. Reviewing it more carefully.
Oh.
Okay. The window, I guess?
Open.
Mm.
No, it's not
No?
enough to disprove the theory that
Oh.
it was an accident. Reviewing it more carefully.
The tanks? Battered?
Yes?
The victim died with his head in the fish tank. Is that right?
Oh, okay,
Yes.
I
That
was
is
right
certain.
then with the shattering.
As you can see, this fish tank was destroyed like all the others. That is far too strange. It means something logically impossible occurred.
Impossible? What do you mean?
How did it get smashed
I
through his
shouldn't
body?
have to explain it. If the victim drowned with his head in the tank, then it had to be filled with water.
Hmm.
But as you can see, the fish tank is destroyed, meaning it is unable to contain water. Like with the other tanks, the water spilled out when it was smashed, emptying it. So how could the victim drown in a fish tank that held no water?
Oh, now that you mention it.
Hmm.
The peacekeepers claim the victim was disoriented and smashed the fish tanks himself. But if the victim was still alive when he smashed the fish tanks, it would have been impossible for him to have drowned. In other words, the victim was drowned, then placed next to the fish tank to make it seem like an accident. The culprit must have believed this camouflage would be enough to fool the peacekeepers.
And it was right, and they were right.
So my father was murdered.
Yes, there is no mistake about it. This is murder.
Hold on. If the culprit wanted to make the victim look like he drowned, why did they destroy the fish tank? Didn't they realize their cover would be blown? And plus, all the fish tanks were destroyed, not just that one.
It must have been part of their plan for the peacekeepers to overlook this contradiction. However, destroying the tanks required a lot of effort. If the culprit did so despite the contradiction it created, then we have to assume there was an unavoidable reason behind it.
An unavoidable reason.
So, who is the culprit?
I must investigate further to find that out. I'll report back once I find the answer.
Yes, please.
Has anyone outside your family entered or left the house recently?
Servant.
I don't think so.
Oh, the servant, yeah.
Were there any tradesmen who came to work on your place?
I can't think of any.
Allow me to change the question. Have you recently done any remodeling or repairs to the home?
Oh, now that you mention it. The rain gutters on the roof were broken, so Jaren fixed them.
He
Mm.
fixed the rain gutters?
Yes, he's an avid DIYer.
DIYer.
He not only fixed the broken parts, but also checked the gutters around the whole building, which was a lot of work.
I hate that I called it that easily. Too simple for it to be the fiance did it for the money.
That concludes my investigation.
What? Are you sure that's enough? Jeez, you're always off in your own world. I'm sorry about that. Our ace detective is very friendly.
Unless you're a dog.
That being said, I believe this case will be solved
Ace
soon.
detective.
Please be patient for just a bit longer.
Thank you.
The dog.
Only a room for one ace detective in my life. And his name is Dick Gumshoe, pal.
Alara, just as you suspected, it could be the fiancé. Jaren has been living in the client's home and mooching off her since he got fired from his job a year back. He's in quite a lot of debt, too. At one point, he was spending almost all his time in casinos.
Funny how that loops
Asking
back
the
around.
client's
Loops
father
back
for
around.
money, but was always denied. Seems the father was also against their marriage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So money.
Because all
is
he'd
the
have to do is
motive.
kill her then, and by law
If
of
the
marriage,
father
he'd
were to
get,
die,
he'd get everything.
The daughter would inherit everything. So if he married her, the money would be his.
He'd either turn into a tyrant or
Makes
just kill her.
sense. The thing is, that man has an alibi.
The servant's in on
The
it.
victim's estimated time of death is 10 at night. There's no mistake that Jaren was with the client at that time. It makes no sense to suspect Tetra, since she's our client, so we have to assume his alibi is airtight.
Right. I agree.
His alibi is perfect. Not only was he with Tetra at 10, but he was also with her for 2 hours before and after. So, as it stands, it's impossible for him to have killed the victim.
No, the alibi isn't a problem. It's possible if a certain trick was used.
Here's the clock.
Trick?
But I still lack hard evidence. Perhaps it's worth rolling the dice here.
Hey, are you sure about this?
We'll make our move tonight. Let's go to the client.
Laura is still sitting in his chair.
Yes.
They came back and he didn't get to his chair quick enough.
No. They saw. They got back and she just. Halara just sauntered back to the chair. I mean, that's why it makes sense. Like when Yako dies in the main story, that Halara takes over as like the de facto chief. I actually think this is the same building. I think we're just at a different angle.
Yeah.
To
It's probably just supposed to be a house in the same area.
yeah,
That's right, miss.
but you know,
Allow me to
asset
explain.
reuse.
Yeah.
The key detail for this case is the victim's cause of death. Without a
It's
doubt,
a nice rug
the
though.
victim died by drowning.
Uh,
But making
like
it
the
look like she
peacock
drowned
tail.
in the fish tank was
Yeah, and it's
camouflage.
giving me casino vibes, strangely
Why
enough.
would such a thing even be needed? Because it secured the killer's alibi.
You said that the victim's time of death was around 10 p.m. In other words, the culprit secured their alibi at the same time as they murdered the victim. Is that really possible?
yeah, Jaren does look like a bit of a
Through a
moocher.
certain trick, it was
Jaren seems
possible
too
to
young
drown
for
the
her.
victim even if the culprit
A
wasn't
little bit,
there.
yeah.
Drown him without being there?
The trick the culprit used was
The hose.
Sealed and flooded.
Flooded. The
Yeah.
hose doesn't seal the room, but
Yeah.
first. It involves this rubber hose.
That's Sugar's toy.
If you untie the knot, it returns to being a hose. This was what was first used in the crime.
How was it used? Don't tell me
instead
that's
of
the
the rain
murder weapon.
going off the gutter, it
If
just
you
went.
check the vent, you'll see the color
It was
of
just
paint
rigged to
scraped
the
on there
hose to flow
matches the
through.
hose. It was likely passed through the vent.
Someone
He probably set
put
the hose up all
in
around the gutters
vent.
to like the tap in the
Why would
kitchen.
anyone
Yeah.
do that?
Or just for
It's
the
not
rainfall,
possession.
because it's Kanai ward,
The
it's
hose was
always
simply
raining.
used for its original purpose.
Its original
But-
purpose?
How do you get the
One end of the hose.
How
was
do you
placed
get the
on edge
fodder
of the rain gutter on
into
veranda
the
side.
room?
Mm.
Like, do you knock them
Prior
out
to this,
first,
the
and
culprit
then...
adjusted the rain gutter so that the hose could be
There you
inserted
go,
into
yeah,
it.
yeah.
The rainwater from the gutter passed through the hose, filling the room.
Huh? What do you mean? Hilari, you think this place got flooded with rainwater? That would drench the whole place.
Look around,
When the
Jakob.
body was found, the room was, in fact, drenched.
But that was because of the broken fish tanks, right?
That's part of it. But the main reason was due to rainwater pouring into the enclosed room.
Wait, what do you mean? What's the point in flooding this room with rainwater?
The culprit's goal was to secure their own alibi at the estimated time of death. This trick was necessary for that.
I don't get it. Can you explain from the beginning?
Let's go over what the culprit did on the day of the crime, in order. First, the culprit mixed sleeping pills into the victim's dinner.
Ah, there it is.
While the victim was asleep, the culprit proceeded to prepare the trick.
Sleeping pills in his food? That reminds me. My father did seem sleepy shortly after eating dinner.
After dinner, the victim likely went to his room to lay down. The culprit then sneaked into his room and carried him out while he was asleep. That was how the victim was transported to this room.
At this point, you're sure he was still alive?
Of course. If the culprit murdered the victim earlier, then their alibi wouldn't have worked. The culprit had to murder him in such a way that would secure their alibi. The preparations were done in this room. After bringing the victim here, the culprit used duct tape on the gap near the door to weather strip it.
Weather strip? What's that?
It prevents water from leaking outside.
What do you mean?
Let me explain.
Yako, you're not that stupid.
After weather stripping the door, the culprit started destroying the fish tanks. The culprit likely covered them with cloth to dampen the noise. Once he smashed all of them, he leaned the victim onto the fish tank. The culprit then moved to the window on the veranda and weather stripped the outside of it. Finally, they took the hose connected to the rain gutter and passed it through the vent to the inside of the room. Preparations in place, the culprit left through the veranda and returned to the mansion as if nothing had happened.
How does that complete everything? The victim was still alive at the time, right? When was he murdered?
The victim naturally drowned after being left alone for several hours.
Huh? How's that?
Sleeping pills, you
The
dumb
rainwater from the
fuzzy
rubber
fuck.
hose flooded the room in a few hours. The whole room was turned into a fish tank, this time filled with rainwater. And that is how the victim drowned.
The whole room was flooded?
That can't be.
Look around.
The proof lies in the stained walls. The day of the murder, the room must have been filled to that line with rainwater.
Rainwater killed the victim?
Correct. Only in this city could such an approach be possible.
Mm-hmm.
The rain never stops in Kanai
I
Ward.
still think the hose should have been a
This
bit bigger
makes
for
it
this
easy
though.
to
Yeah.
estimate the amount of rainfall to a certain degree. So it is not impossible to create this alibi trick with some calculation.
I think that's a bit of a stretch. Wouldn't it take at least half a day for the room to fill with enough rainwater to drown the victim?
I'm sure it would require more rainwater than usual to accomplish it. Which means you'd need to gather all the rain falling around this giant mansion.
gather all of it how?
With some...
It would require slight adjustments to the rain gutters. After that, the rainwater would flow to the veranda.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Adjustments to the rain gutters?
Build
There
up
would
them
be
all
plenty
towards
of
the...
water if all of the rain that pours upon the mansion is rerouted to this room. That explains how the culprit secured their alibi while drowning the victim. In the morning, before the body was found, they removed the weather stripping and drained the water through the veranda. If you check the drain in the veranda, you should find dead tropical fish that were carried out with the rainwater. The culprit smashed the tanks beforehand to prevent rainwater from being stored inside.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how I would have done it. But maybe the culprit didn't realize that before they started draining the water. Seeing the fish tanks filled with rainwater, the culprit panicked and smashed all of the glass to hide the evidence. They must have carelessly broken the one fish tank the corpse was leaning on in the process. Isn't that how it went, Jaren? I'll be direct. You are the culprit.
I mean, they didn't even try to hide it. Like when he was taping up the door, it wasn't
Yeah.
a blank person. It was just him.
Is this some kind of joke? Why would I kill my father-in-law? That's stupid.
But you were fixing the rain gutters a few days before the incident.
That's because you asked me to fix them. How does fixing some stuff pin me as the culprit? That's crazy talk.
So you intend on maintaining that you're not the culprit?
Of course.
Then we'll have to ask our little friend for the answer. Come here, sugar. This is the rubber hose used for the trick. There are scrapes on its surface. That's the proof. I'm sure the culprit tried to dispose of it, tying it into a knot before throwing it away. But our friend here found it for us. Good girl, sugar.
That was
Only
menacing.
the culprit has directly touched the rubber hose. I'm certain his scent is still on it. Tell us, sugar, who do you smell on this?
So, it is you.
This is complete nonsense. I won't accept it.
No, his eyes don't have a symbol.
Well, they have a circle.
I'll kill all of you.
Oh. Oh, that escalated
Hey.
quickly.
Don't tell me that you're really... I was so close to getting all that money.
Oh, shit!
Calm down. Hey, why me?
Yako, why are you so useless?
I can kill the woman anytime. I'll start off with you. Damn you, detectives. This is your fault for sticking your nose into my life.
Yeah, he doesn't have a symbol. He just has like
Can you
Danganronpa
handle this on
eyes.
your own, Chief?
But
I'm pretty bad at this sort of thing. Please help. Shut up! I'll kill...
oh,
You know, honestly, before this happened, I thought he was going to kick the dog for outing him
So
or
did I.
attempting to, and
Halara
Halara would stop it before
Yeah.
the dog got hurt.
yeah, I was thinking that as well. I was like, no, don't you dare.
Hmm.
You saved me.
I never thought it would be like this. What am I supposed to do?
You and Sugar live your best life.
You're
Yep.
not alone.
Huh?
That's what she's saying.
If you ever need help, come to us. The Nocturnal Detective Agency will always be at your service.
So are we contacting the peacekeepers to let them know there's a murderer in the building, or what?
We'll drop him off. A dog is a completely different texture to the rest
Oh,
of
yeah.
the game. So was the one that was out behind the agency? Remember just before you turn out to go to the bus stop? At the
Oh,
chain link fence, there was
yeah.
always a dog in behind that. He was a different texture as well. These are like Sims dogs, but I'd love to play The Sims. Wonder could my laptop handle it?
Kitty!
Kitty cat!
As promised, you can keep that cat here.
Oh!
I don't need your help. That's what the cat is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, this cat thinks it's some sort of hard-boiled detective? Well, I suppose I don't mind.
Why did we never see this
city
kitty
is a difficult
before?
place to
No.
live, even for the animals.
Are
Right.
the animals homuncular?
Oh, I
I
hope
hope
not.
we can keep solving the mysteries here to make this city a better place. And make it a nicer place for them to live too.
No, because then they would have had to do
I
blood
see
tests on the
what
animals.
you're
So that'd be a completely different process.
You're
Yeah, or
so
the animals
cold
would
to
have been
humans.
eating
You
at
like
the
animals.
unconscious homunculi for a week.
See, there you go again, making that scary face.
Mhm.
Seeing you play with the cat, you look kind of cute. It sure would be nice to see more of that smile around here.
Aw.
I hope you keep using your powers to change this city. I know you can do it. For their sake, too.
That depends on the payment.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Well, how's this? Consider it the reward for this case. And maybe you could ask for permission next time.
Aw.
Thanks.
Oh, Hilara already had the cat.
Yeah.
They really don't try to hide the sub from Amaterasu at all.
No.
The park basically right in front of it.
Raining cats and dog.
Mhm.
Although there was only a cat.
Yeah,
I think that was a typo.
maybe.
Yeah, Sean Chiplock was Jaren.
Mm.
So, yeah. Yeah, I guess Sean is just in, like, all of these as, like, extra voices.
Mm.
Alright. Vivia,
Mm.
the near-death detective.